Hello everyone, it's your friendly neighborhood Moshi once again, and welcome back to another Super Smash Bros. Ultimate Guide. Today we're actually going to be taking a look at two fighters, although you could say they're technically one and the same, Pit and Dark Pit. As I've stated in my Marth and Lucina guide, Echo Fighters, actually I don't think I did state this in that guide, so let me state that now if I haven't. Echo Fighters I will be covering in the same video, so Marth to Lucina, I already covered them in the same video, and here I'm going to be doing the same for Pit and Dark Pit. However, Ryu and Ken will be covered in their own separate videos, just because although Ken is Ryu's Echo Fighter, they operate different enough where I'm going to put them in their own guides. For those of you who have played Ryu and Ken, I think you'll understand a bit more as to why that is once I get to them. But we're going to be focusing on Pit and Dark Pit today. Pit and Dark Pit actually only have two differences between them, that being their neutral special and their forward special. So in terms of explaining differences between the two, like Marth and Lucina, like having Marth having his tipper and Lucina not having a tipper, I won't have to bother doing that because there's only two differences between them, and that's two special moves. Having said that, let's get into their moves. Their jab is a simple 1-2-3 hit combo, and as with most rapid jabs, if you mash it, you get the rapid finisher. Now, which one you should be using most of the time? Usually you'll probably want the 1-2-3 and the higher percents, and the lower percents you can mash it to get a bit more damage out of it. But in the upper percents, I find that they can SDI out of the rapid jab finisher much easier. So generally speaking, with the jab, you'll want to go for the 1-2-3. In the higher percents, you'll want to go... No, I said that backwards actually. I'm sorry, I meant to say you'll want to go for the rapid jab finisher at low percents, and higher percents you want to go for the 1-2-3. One small tip, do not ever go for the rapid jab against Bowser. The reason for this is because Bowser's tough guy armor, or tough guy passive I should be saying, makes it where he shrugs off smaller hits. And I've had this happen to me a lot of the time. My rapid jab finisher won't knock Bowser back at all, so he just has a free punish for me doing so. So never use your rapid jab finisher against Bowser, as Pit or Dark Pit. Just use your 1-2-3 jab. To do that, all you need to do is just hold down the A button. So make sure you're not haphazardly mashing it by accident, otherwise you'll get the rapid jab finisher and Bowser can just punch you in the face for free. Onto their tilts. Forward tilt, again, you're going to hear me saying this a lot. Some moves are just standard as far as what their purpose is. The purpose of a forward tilt is usually just for spacing out your opponent, and if the tilt is strong enough to get a kill in higher percents, which Pit and Dark Pit are able to do. This is no exception, very good for spacing. I believe it does more damage, yep, it does more damage and knockback at the tip of it, so it's good to space with the tip of it. Down tilt it feels a lot better here than it did in Smash 4. It's much easier to combo out of Pit and Dark Pit's down tilts. So I find it as a very useful combo starter, and just as a way of poking through your opponent's shield if you've done enough damage to it. I find it very good at catching the 2-frame. I love catching the 2-frame with their down tilt. It feels so easy to do. Why? I don't know. It just feels really easy to do. So down tilt, I'd probably say it's their best tilt out of their 3 tilts. Up tilt is much better here than it was in Smash 4 just because the first hit pretty much combos into the second, and it's a very, very good anti-air. It's really hard for people to challenge both the Pits up tilt just because if you take a close look at it, it's very slightly, not really disjointed, but the hitbox extends completely above Pit/Dark Pit. So it's not even attached to their head. The hitbox for their legs is completely above them. So it's really good to challenge people trying to come at you through the air. It also does hit on the platforms in Battlefield or on any Battlefield type stage. So if you're fighting on Battlefield or the Battlefield form of a stage, up tilt actually does poke through it, and again, good for shield poking if you've done some damage to their shield beforehand. Onto their smash attacks. Forward smash is a 2-hit attack. Links into itself much easier now. Nets kills, I wouldn't say super early. I have gotten kills on people with this like around 70%, but that's usually because they're probably DIing incorrectly. But decent way to punish if you know that you can get it. It does have a bit of end lag on it. It's not safe on shield. It actually is safe at a distance, so if you use your forward smash at a distance, you could actually follow up with another smash attack. Sometimes Sometimes what I'll do with Pit or Dark Pit is, at a distance, if I think someone's going to run into me, I'll use my forward smash. And if they don't run into me, then they'll start running towards me. But what they don't know is that, yes, there is a little bit of end lag on it, but not enough where you can freely punish me from a distance. Unless you had a projectile or something. But if you're just running straight at them, then there actually is enough time where you could punish afterward. Down smash, Pit and Dark Pit's down smash is actually tied for second fastest in the game, coming out at frame 5. I completely forget whose down smash was the fastest. I think it was Meta Knight's at frame 4. But Pit, Dark Pit, and Mario and Dr. Mario, they all have a down smash that comes out at frame 5. It's not going to be netting you any kills anytime soon, but it's a good fast punish if you really want to get someone off of you or off stage. So if you're out of options or if you just want to hit a panic button, you can just down smash, but don't get in the habit of spamming this. I know it may look just completely safe and you can just throw it out whenever you want, but don't, because you do have a site when you can be punished. If somebody shields the front hit of it, they could possibly punish you, so be careful. Up smash is a 3-hit slash that actually does hit slightly in front of the pit, so if someone's standing right in front of you, you could actually catch them and drag them up with you. It doesn't hit behind them. No, don't turn around, Pit. I need you to turn this way. It doesn't hit behind them, as you can see. So it's good for catching people that are directly in front of you, but mostly for people that are above you. And this is one of the reasons why I think that Battlefield is an extremely good stage for both of the pits, which is why I probably should be on a Battlefield stage right now, but I'm not going to waste time and switch to that. Their up smash, it just covers a bit. It's very similar to their up tilt, and just that their up smash actually is disjointed because they're using their weapons instead of a part of their body. But it's very good at covering their heads, and I'd say it doesn't kill early, but it can kill with a little bit of a charge or against lighter characters around 100 or so. So it's very good at getting people up in the air and protecting yourself from airborne assaults. Onto their aerials, which is the best part about the pits. Neutral air is my favorite aerial, personally. Well, okay, I'd say it's tied for my favorite aerial, aside from forward air, just because, just look at this move. Literally just look at this move. If you're quick enough with short hopping, you can actually make the neutral air combo into a self, and this can actually lead to some 0 to deaths against people that aren't expecting it. The hitbox practically covers the entirety of the pits, and it actually does hit slightly behind them, not completely behind them, but if you can catch somebody with the actual blade itself, because as you can see, there's no actual hitbox on Pit/Dark Pit. There's no hitbox behind them. It's only very slightly. It's safe to pressure with, even against shields, but you have to be careful against sword characters and people with big meaty limbs like Donkey Kong or Mewtwo, because if you're not careful and you're just blindly just short hopping with Nair, then that's not safe. You want to be smart about using it. Forward air, very good disjointed hitbox, and it creates a very good wall of pain. The pits are both much better now than they were in Smash 4 because of how air dodges work. When you start forcing somebody off the stage with your forward air, it's much easier to keep them off of the stage, just because you only have one air dodge before you get hit now. So, if I can get Lucario into the air, all he's got is his double jump and an air dodge to dodge this. So if you can predict someone's double jump or read their air dodge and catch them with this, then they're going to die. It also helped because the pits have 3 double jumps. So you've got your first jump standing on stage, and then off stage you have 1, 2, 3 jumps. So they can pressure off stage very easily. They're monsters when it comes to edge guarding because of their aerials and the combination of how many jumps they have. Back air is basically your killing aerial. You hit the tip of this, and later percents is definitely going to kill. It actually can also lead into combos at lower percents. It can lead into a grab. No, not a dash attack. It can lead into a grab. It can lead into other aerials. But usually at lower percents, you're going to try going into a grab. It's also good for shield poking, and it's very safe if you space it correctly. If you're up right in someone's face and just hit with the weak hit, it's not safe on shield. But if you hit with the sweet spot of it, then it actually is safe. And like I said before, it's good for poking through shield. A lot of Pit and Dark Pit's moves are good for poking with shields just because they're multi-hit, they do a decent amount of damage, and they're disjointed. Down air is actually a move that I've been using a lot more in Ultimate than I did in Smash 4. It's actually a potent combo starter. If you hit with the sour spot of it, there's 2 hitboxes for it. On the backswing, this is the sour spot, and if you hit with the middle of it, that's the sweet spot where you'll get the spike. But you want to hit with the sour spot of it because that can actually lead into combos. And if you're against someone that's not really paying attention, or if you grab their double jump or air dodge, you could actually start reading their air dodge from that point onward and start comboing down air into a cell. Keep hitting with the spike part of it though. That was what I was talking about. So down air is a very good combo extender if you're looking to do that sort of thing. Up air is very good for juggling opponents and just for challenging people that are above you on platforms. And it does actually start netting kills in the higher percents. Actually, Pit's forward air does the same thing. It will start netting kills off stage at the higher percents. So both of the Pits are very good at pressuring people off stage just because of how quick their aerials are. Like, look at this. Pit's neutral air has pretty much no landing lag. Forward air does have a little bit of landing lag, so usually you're going to want to pressure with your neutral air. It's also a very good combo starter at lower percents just because, like I said before, it combos into itself. And that's all of Pit's aerials. The Pit's grab game is actually very, very good. Back throw is pretty standard. It doesn't really lead into anything, but it's an option that's there if you want to get someone off stage. Forward throw actually, I believe it still combos into dash attack. Yes, forward throw does still combo into dash attack at very low percents. What we used to do actually in Smash 4 was we would actually jab block somebody with our down air if they missed the tech. You can still do that if you want to, and it leads into a regrab. So that's still an option if you want. But usually forward throw into dash attack is good. Oh, how am I forgetting? I always forget to explain about the dash attacks. Their dash attack is very good. Disjointed, quick. Not the safest thing in the world, but it's very good for people that don't respect the space between the both of you. If you see someone trying to zone you and they're using a laggy move from a distance, you can close the distance with dash attack, and it pops them up into the air, which, as you know, the Pits excel at. Up throw, actually, no, up throw does not combo into up air. But it is a good tool for getting someone into the air and, you know, reading their air dodge, yada, yada, yada. I'm going to say the same thing a lot. Reading someone's air dodge as the Pits is paramount to playing them just because their air game is absolutely insane. For those of you that don't know, Dark Pit is my main, which by extension also makes Pit my main, but mainly Dark Pit. Their air game is absolutely insane. I can't stress it enough. Being able to use your aerials effectively is the most important part about playing the Pits. It's pretty much their entire neutral, so to speak. And as for their last throw, it's their down throw. This is where their combo game comes in. You can do so many things off of a down throw. It's absolutely nutty. Like, you get a down throw at any percent, even slightly like higher percents, like maybe around 90 or so, you could still at least lead into an up air. Like, let me actually set Lucario to 90% so I can show you what I'm talking about. Not 100, 90. Oh, okay, well actually at that point it'd just be forward air. Like, down throw just it's ridiculous just how well it combos into pretty much anything. You can even combo into back air if you're quick enough. I know that combos into back air and it's true. There we go. So yeah, the Pits have a very good combo game. They're very versatile and creative with what they can do as well. It's not just one specific thing. Like in Smash 4, we were pretty much stuck to like maybe down throw and up air, but now we can do down throw into neutral air, fast fall. If I do that correctly, down throw into neutral air, fast fall, or just another forward air. Like, the Pits can put out insane damage off of their down throw. It will take a bit of time if you want to perfect it, but lab out the pits for a couple of hours, and you'll be amazed at what you can make up with these characters. I feel like Pit and Dark Pit are much better in Ultimate than they were in Smash 4. This guy is dragging on a bit. I'm gushing about them, I know, but they're my main, so I kind of can't help the bias towards them. Let's move on to their specials. Now I'm going to cover their up and down specials first, just because they're the same. Their up special is one of the best recoveries in the game, just of how far it goes, and you have pretty much free reign over wherever you want to angle it. One thing is that you cannot aim their recovery downwards at all. You can only aim it upwards or to the side. Also, you have to remember that they are completely vulnerable during their recovery, so you can get spiked out of this. So be cautious. But you have 3 jumps as well as your recovery, so getting back to stage shouldn't be too much of an issue as the pits. And their last special, I can actually show this off now since I'm against someone that uses a projectile. Their down special is the Guardian Orbitars, which will reflect back any projectiles, as well as stop a physical attack. However, they can only stay out for so long. If you hold them out for too long, they will start to shrink. They don't have to recharge, you can just put them back out immediately. But they will break if they take a strong enough attack. Let me actually set Lucario to forward smash. Let me actually block it. Like you can see there, did break, and they actually will need to recharge if they're completely broken. I believe, if I remember correctly, they take 12 seconds, I think, in order to recharge? I could be wrong. I'll need to check on that, actually. Now, as for you can stop using your forward smash now, Lucario. As for their neutral special, Pit's neutral special is Palutena's Bow. He has very free guiding arrows that he can control by moving the control stick. You can hold down the special button to charge it up, and it'll do more damage. Now, I'm going to explain this now just because of how different it is. The main purpose of Pit's arrow is usually to pressure people from a distance or to gimp them when they're recovering, just because of how free-roaming his arrows are. You won't really be killing with Pit's arrows anytime soon. Pit's forward special is the upper dash arm. He'll lunge forward, and when he comes in contact with an opponent, he'll knock them into the air. Now, another interesting thing about Pit's forward special is that he has super armor during his charge, so you can armor through quite a few things. It will also automatically reflect any projectiles that it comes into contact with. So, Lucario, could you use your neutral special? It will reflect projectiles just like that. And if you're close enough to your opponent when they use the projectile, you can usually just hit them as well. Now, another thing about it is, you'll notice, is hitting it up at an angle. Pit's forward special will do that. It won't knock it straight back, it will knock it, what is that? Is that 45-degree angle? Don't worry, I know my geometry. But it will knock it up at that angle, so you won't ever reflect it straight back. If you want to reflect it straight back, you're going to want to use your Guardian Orbitars for that. That's going to do it for Pit. Now, I will go over to Dark Pit because, 1, he's my main and I like him more than Pit, solely because of his victory theme and his forward special, but 2, because there is a difference between them. The only difference between Pit and Dark Pit are their neutral special and their forward special. So Dark Pit's neutral special is actually the Silver Bow, as opposed to a free, what was the word? I forgot the word that I used, but as opposed to a free controlling arrow, Dark Pit's is very limited in how much you can control it. You can't aim it nearly as much. However, Dark Pit's has the advantage of doing much more raw damage than Pit's. So what does this mean in comparison to Pit's? Dark Pit's arrow is actually much better for killing. Like, if I actually set Duck Hunt to, let's say I'll set him up to 100, because this is around the percent I can usually start killing with it. Fully charged, this can outright kill someone around 130%, but you're usually going to be wanting this to try and snipe people off stage. That's the main purpose of Dark Pit's arrows. If I can actually hit Duck Hunt, I'm gonna forward tilt you. And you can kill someone off stage if you can snipe them with that. I've gotten quite a few kills with Dark Pit's neutral special just by sniping people with his arrow. So you're not really going to be trying to gimp people with this as much, just because you don't have as much control with it as you do Pit. You're usually going to want to try sniping people with it, or just deal raw damage. And sometimes you can even grab someone's air dodge just from charging it. Oh, this is also something else. I've said before that these guides are not in-depth comprehensive ones. They're just general ones to help you understand how a character's moveset works and just general strategy. But this is one advanced tip that I will give for Pit and Dark Pit. One, because they're my main, and two, this is something I think that you should generally know. If you waggle back and forth while charging your neutral special, you can actually hold it longer than you normally could. Because while Pit and Dark Pit are waggling back and forth like this, they're actually not charging the arrow. So you can hold your arrow as long as you want if you waggle fast enough. Because like, look here. So you can actually use this to bait your opponent or fake them out, make them think that you're going to shoot an arrow, but you can hold it much longer than you'd actually want to. As for Dark Pit's forward special, it's the Electroshock arm. There are two key differences between both of these. One, Dark Pit's does electrical damage. I know it's not that big of a deal. The only thing that electrical damage does, I think, is adds 1 extra frame of hit stun, but that's it. The other important thing is that Dark Pit sends them forwards, whereas Pits sends them straight up. This is actually very important because on certain stages, like, let's say, on the WarioWare stage, the blast zones are much closer to the sides, so you could actually net a kill with Dark Pit's forward special maybe sooner than Pits. On the flip side, some stages that have a lower blast zone, like Final Destination stages, actually have a slightly lower blast zone up the top than Battlefield does. So you could actually make the excuse, hey, I'll pick Pit on Final Destination as opposed to Dark Pit just because of that lower high blast zone. But generally speaking, Pit on blast zones that are much higher, his forward special won't kill as early as Dark Pit's, whereas Dark Pit's will just outright kill with stages with closer blast lines to the sides. And that's the only difference between the Pits. Well, actually, I'm wrong. There is one other difference. Their victory theme. Pit shares his victory theme with Palutena. It's just the normal jingle for the Kid Icarus franchise. But Dark Pit's is a small rendition from his theme, which is also my ringtone. I really love Dark Pit, okay? But that's pretty much it for the Pits. Now, I am very biased towards the Pits because, as I keep saying again and again, they are my main. But I know that they have their weaknesses. The Pits can somewhat struggle when it comes to killing sometimes just because they don't have super reliable kill moves. You have your forward smash, you have your forward special, which is extremely unsafe on shield. If you think someone's going to shield your forward special, do not use it. Don't spam your forward special. It is very unsafe on shield, and Lord help you if it gets parried. If it gets parried, you're just done for it. Aside from forward smash, forward special, they have their back air, very aggressive edge guarding off stage, and that leads me into the final thought for the Pits and how they play and how I think they are. I think they're very good. They're much better here in Ultimate than they are in Smash 4 just because of how the engine for Ultimate works. How you have to be much more aggressive. It suits them perfectly because that's how the Pits should be played, very aggressively. You want to pretty much always be up in someone's face. You want to utilize your very good grab game. At lower percentage, try comboing people with your neutral air, your forward air. Get them off stage and pressure them with your aerials. Because you catch somebody with a down air spike or forward air off stage, they're not coming back. Yeah. I actually learned something today. I can actually kill some lightweights off the side, down throw into forward air. Huh. I actually will be making a very in-depth guide on the Pits just because, you know, I love both of the Pits. But that won't be coming till much later. So with the Pits, you'll want to be very aggressive up in someone's face, very heavy rushdown style, very strong edge guarding capabilities, as well as gimping people off stage. So that's what you're going to want to be looking to do with the Pits. So hopefully I've taught you a thing or two about Pit and Dark Pit both. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, make sure you hit the like button, hit subscribe, as well as the notification bell. I'm going to keep pumping out these Ultimate guides, and if there's anyone in particular you guys want to see that I haven't done yet, please let me know, because these guides don't take me very long to do. I always make it my mission when it comes to fighting games to learn every single person on the roster at a basic level, even if I don't like that character, just because it lets me help other people pick up those characters. Duck Hunt, you're no exception. I hate using you, but I need to know you. So, once again, thank you all for watching. I hope you all enjoyed it, and I'll see you all next time.